Popcorn Chicken is back, baby. It is Sunday, and you know what it is? The day we mourn the end of The Last of Us. We shed a little tear, but I won't shed a tear alone. I bring my teary-eyed friend Justin.
A little tear?
A lot of tear, okay?
So we didn't talk beforehand, and I didn't plan my lower third tag right there.
Totally didn't cry.
The entire episode, I was misty-eyed, and oh my god!
So I messaged back and forth with you the last couple of days, saying that I've been frantically trying to finish the game.
Yes,
because the goal was when we started this for me to play the game throughout the whole season, and I slacked off in the first couple of weeks because of work and things like that.
life,
but
all that,
yeah, life, but the last 2 weeks, I'm like, hey, listen, if there's a moment that you need to make it happen, it's right here. Like in the next 2 weeks, you need to lock in the shotgun and fly down.
Yeah, I don't know what that's a reference to, but okay.
And well, that's reference to me running through the whole storyline, right?
Literally, okay.
Yeah, like just literally lock in, go bang bang, just keep going, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I just played through it. I choked many individuals into the corners. Shot many
how many bombs? How many pipe bombs did you make?
Ow, I don't know, but I gave those big behemoth monsters a run for their money with those bombs. I a lot of them with the canister bombs. Yeah, I lobbied at least 3 of them at one guy.
Yeah,
and then it didn't even slow them down a little bit. I was like, oh shit,
man.
And then I ran so many times running around and just shooting aimlessly at animals that come at you.
Yeah.
Oh, we can say hello to Viper and Darth. Hello, what's up? Viper asked a question here. Sup, and will you tell us when you're giving away the golden tickets, or do we need to watch all the videos? You make it sound
what
like
are you
it's
implying?
Painful.
Yeah, like what is this, a chore?
You simply got to watch the videos within 24 hours of it being launched, because any of these segments that we do, we still have to give away 3 more tickets.
I think in the title or description, we'll probably put a golden ticket giveaway. No,
I'm making this as hard as possible.
All right.
So the deadline will be by November for me to hand out all the golden tickets. How I hand them out, who I hand it out to, it's going to be totally random here on in. The first person, which was Viper, who got it, he was notified that he won it. So he knew it's coming to him. But all the other people, when I do giveaways, they'll have no clue it's coming.
So you got easy mode, Viper.
Yeah, you got it the easiest. You already knew it's coming and you're all relaxed. But the other 3 people that are going to win those tickets or get those 2 tickets, they'll have no idea it's coming in the package. They'll open up their package and be like, oh, what's this? And if they decide to not understand and listen to us, they might just chuck in the garbage thing and just a little get welcome gift card or something. And they'll lose that opportunity to win a shopping spree.
Losers.
Yeah. So 1 in 4 chance to hang out with me and go on a little bit of a shopping spree online for some cool action figures that they get to pick. So
that sounds like a pretty good deal.
$250 US value. So it'd be a nice little just before Christmas, would be a nice little stocking stuffer for themselves or family, right? But anyways, we're not here for that.
Speaking of happy, yeah. Let's get away from happy shit.
So back to the game. I finished it this morning. I put it on the big screen downstairs in our office, and a couple of the members of the team were here, and they watched me finish the game, the last 10 minutes of it, and everyone was like, yeah, you did it. I was like, this is it? I was like, yes, I did it.
Yeah.
I was so relieved to finish this game because I don't do these games, man.
Yeah.
These dark tunnel hiding and sneaking around games, I don't do them at all. My games are bright, beautiful, funny, colorful games.
Fortnite.
You want to give me Kirby? No problem. I'll play Kirby all day long. In fact, I have 2 Kirby games that I haven't played yet. I just bought the newest one.
And Kirby last games are so fucking good.
So that's going to be, I'm going to play them on my Nintendo device when I'm on vacation in Mexico.
Yeah.
So I'll play those 2 games by the pool side. So I'm looking forward to playing those 2 Kirby games.
Those will be
Harry Potter is next, but before Harry Potter, I think I'm gonna have to play the Star Wars game with Cal
Next.
Kestis.
Cal Kestis, yeah, Jedi Survivor. That comes out in April.
No, the first one.
Oh shit, you got to play through. Whoa, Jeff, good fucking luck.
So I gotta play through that.
I put like actually, hold on, let me pull up my Steam right now. I want to see how many hours I put into that game.
But you probably want to do all the side quests and everything.
I did. I 100% of that game.
No. I want to go straight down the middle.
Yeah. I that was one of the very few games that I was like, I want to go through and collect everything.
Okay.
Enjoyed the gameplay of that so much. It was, I mean, this came out before what was the before what's that game called? Elden Ring. So it's very like Dark Souls-esque kind of feeling.
Okay.
The combat's very, very rewarding when you get good at it, but it's not like when you die, you're not like, this is bullshit. Like you died and you go, I know why I died. I fucked up in this way, in this way, in this way.
The cool thing about it is it's a I have it for the PS5, but I just found out today it's available on Xbox Game Pass as well for free.
Oh, nice.
So I love Xbox Game Pass because it's very easy to play on any device. I've had the worst luck with the PS5 tethering. I don't know what it is. It doesn't want to speak to my phones. It hates my devices. I have such a hard time. Like I have friends who are like, it's easy, bro. You press a couple buttons, you're in. I'm like, look, I'm pressing the same couple buttons as you guys. I've done everything. I went online with tutorials to tell you to turn it on the console side and then connect it to the same Wi-Fi. I do all of that.
Yeah.
And it's still, for some whatever reason, it gives me hiccups. I've only been successful once at it, right? And even that one time, it was like a little bit of a lag too.
Yeah.
And my internet is like 1 gig, so I don't know what is going on. But I've had no issues with Xbox Game Pass in my house. Zero issues.
Yeah.
I played Xbox at my work during my break and had zero issues with airport Wi-Fi. So,
oh shit, yeah, which is borderline non-existent.
Yeah, so at the hotel when I go on my vacation, I'm going to play that Jedi as well too.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably blast through that in like 20-30 hours.
Okay. Well, when does it come out? In May? The new one?
It comes out April 28th.
Oh, that's going to be kind of close for me.
Yeah, and then Zelda comes out after that.
I can't play Zelda. Too big for me. I have the first Zelda that came out for the Switch, and I think I played it for maybe 2 hours, and I just put it away.
Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, didn't finish it. Oh, can't. It's too big. It's like 70 hours. I'm not doing that. No, sorry.
That's another game that's just like, I want to collect everything. I want to.
I think 15 to 20 hours is my wheelhouse.
Because it was portable, that was the best.
Yeah.
Like Skyrim, I was just out of high school, so I was working like a part-time, maybe like half full-time job, and I was a teenager, so I had all the fucking time in the world.
Yeah.
So I played the shit out of that, and this was just like, hey, it's Skyrim again, but now you can bring it with you. So like, I was working in Ladner and living downtown, living in the West End, so I would have a 45-minute SkyTrain ride, then a half-hour bus ride. So that was each way. So I would just, for like a month or two, I would just fucking play Zelda on the train.
You probably miss a couple of stops sometimes.
Yeah, I've done that before. I'm late. Yeah.
I've done that too. But yeah, no, for me, like these days, I cannot, like,
it's
God
tough.
of War right now, I'm like halfway through God of War, right?
Yeah.
I'm halfway, the first one, not even the second one. And I'm halfway through that, and I had to stop because I was like, I can't play this game. Whatever it is, I only have an hour usually to play a game, and when I'm done that hour, I feel exhausted and I feel like I need to do something else. I don't know what it is. Maybe my lack of attention because I have so many things going on. But if I like with The Last of Us, I play for a good hour. I'm like, okay, this is good. I'll come back tomorrow, play another hour. And that's what I did. But the good thing was I was dedicated to that because sometimes the wheels just fall off and you forget about the game. Right.
Well, but like I've fallen in love so much with DMZ, like Warzone 2.
Yeah, you are dedicated to that game.
because like you can just go in for like a couple hours. You can do a couple little missions and you go through, you have fun. It's not too intense, but it's not too quiet. So like you're constantly looking out for stuff. So there's tension constantly. And then when you do get into a gunfight, you're just like, ah. And then like earlier today, my dad and I and my sister were playing another game mode in Call of Duty, and it was like the Resurgence, where you just go in and you fight and then you die and you come back and you fight, and it was just like constant nonstop fights, and I was just like, I am not having fun at all. Like I'm winning a lot of fights, but it's just that it's because it's always at 10, so I'm just like, okay, like all the excitement isn't there because everything's just like, fuck. And the difference with DMZ is like, okay, I have a mission. Oh no, there's guys over there. Okay, I gotta be sneaky. Okay, I gotta go through. Oh, I fucked up, or oh, the AI did this. So there's like peaks and valleys.
Okay, gotcha. Speaking of peaks and valleys, we should get back into the fold here.
But I have an answer to a question that you asked last week.
Okay,
you were asking about the fire in the bar, and if it was practical or CG. It was practical. They built that entire set. They had, and I quote, 11,000 points of fire.
What does that even mean?
They had, I don't fucking know, 11,000 holes that just shit out fire. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But the entire set was built to be fireproof, so that they would just like, okay, and 3, 2, 1, go, fire, and it would be like,
yeah.
And then they would reshoot, and then they would, okay, set up again, which is like realistic because, you know, a log cabin, if there's fire,
I mean, if you would have to make like 30 log cabins to get to a shot.
Well, no, but like a log cabin, if you like treated wood, doesn't immediately just start to burn. Like if there's flammable stuff around it, it takes a while. But yeah, so that was all practical fire.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We
11,000 points.
We thought it was CGI for sure, right?
Speaking of CG, those were the best goddamn CG giraffes I've ever seen.
As soon as I saw the giraffes, I started laughing because I finished the game, right?
Yeah.
So I was just like, "Oh, this is so good." I have some gripes with today's episode, though.
Okay, no, that's fine.
I have some gripes with it. So this is the season finale, not say series finale. That's the season finale of The Last of Us episode 9 on HBO. And if you played the game, you know what's coming, you know. And so I'm in a position. This morning, I was in the position of what you have been throughout the whole process.
Yeah.
You've played the game, you already know what's coming. So I played the game, and so it starts off pretty much the same.
Okay. Oh, wait. So, the episode, I don't know. The episode starts with Ellie, actual Ellie, the pregnant woman that then turns into be Ellie's mom that we know. That's the person who played Ellie in the video game.
The voice, the voiceover.
Yeah. Well, the mocap and the voice and everything. Yeah. Which was such a meta, just like.
Well, I was gonna say it started off exactly the same when they go to present time.
Yes,
but the few minutes before that was a prequel of how it all began for Ellie.
Yes, right? Which so
the game doesn't have that.
It doesn't. There is a comic though that has some of it.
So let me ask you.
Yes.
Played the game.
Yep.
Saw the show. Do you think that fit into the whole story?
Okay, so yes, it subtly almost explained how Ellie became immune without shoving it down our throat. It was like her being born, like, and then her mom being bitten. There's so many parts that were kind of funny. Where it was just like, it like the entire opening was the most panic-inducing start to any fucking show I've ever seen, because just like she's pregnant, her water breaks, then just like she goes down, and it's like the quintessential thing in any show or movie where then she puts her hand down and then her hand is soaked and she's like, oh no, it's time. And then a great point was just like she tried to open the door but couldn't because her hands are fucking soaked. And I'm just like, that okay, cool. Like little things like that where are just so cool. And then she jams the door, is losing her shit because she's about to have a baby. And then at no point was I like, oh, don't worry, they'll get out of here, okay? And I was like, okay, she's dead. She's dead. She's dead. Everything's fucked. Everything's fucked. Then it gets through. She pulls out the switchblade, and I was like, wait. I was very confused and interested the whole time because I was like, that's Ellie, like the original Ellie. And then she pulls out a switchblade, and I was like, wait, why does the different Ellie have a switchblade too? Like, what? But it then turned into this like beautifully poetic, literally passing the torch to Bella Ramsey to play Ellie by giving her the blade. And in the comics, that's how she gets the blade. Her mom passes it off. And I think most of this kind of prequel thing was already in the comics. I don't know if they go super into it.
Okay.
I loved the line of when she's talking to what's her name that passes her off. She goes, I cut the umbilical cord before I got bitten. And that's just like her being like, please don't kill my baby. Please don't kill my baby. But that might be how Ellie became immune, because she was born with the cordyceps, and then her body just immediately was just like, oh, these things? Okay, well, we'll figure out how to fight those. And then it became part of her as opposed to overtook an already developed brain. And then so it was like this. I mean, it's literally Darwin's theory of evolution, of just like, oh, here's the thing, we adapt. Okay, cool. You're invited. We're not gonna fuck everything up. You get to help facilitate this thing that's growing and living. And
that's very interesting. Yeah, I didn't think of it that way.
But that's the thing too, is it wasn't like somebody like monologuing to the fucking camera being like, well, because she cut it out, blah, blah. It was just like a subtle thing that was just like, no, maybe that's how it started. I don't know, because like
it's an interesting theory. Yeah,
nobody knows.
Yeah. After me, I
oh wait, we got this just in. Hire one offer promotion of your channel. Fuck off. How do I ban you and report you for hate speech?
So I didn't mind the beginning prequel stuff, but I kind of found it weird how the creature was able to follow her from such far distance.
Because she's screaming her fucking mouth off. She's pregnant.
No. She wasn't screaming when she was running down in the forest.
She was going,
no, she wasn't screaming.
Oh, God.
And then she got into the house. There's no way that monster could trace her all the way there. Because you can see her. You can see her a block away. Like the monster's nowhere near.
You ever been to Saskatchewan?
Yes.
It's an open field with no sounds. You can hear somebody sneeze from 5 kilometers away. It's so silent that if somebody's slamming a door, you can hear it.
I don't know. That wasn't Saskatchewan, though.
No, it's Alberta. Tomato.
It's called... Oh, all those Edmontonians will be sending you hate letters.
They don't have internet.
Oh, AI Collects is probably watching this going, how dare you, sir?
Yeah, he's got Starlink. He had to get Elon Musk to give him internet.
Had to crank the shaft. No, I just thought it weird. It's just
sure. Yeah.
But I mean, I did like the fact, that how she passed it on to, is it Marlene? Is that her name?
Marlene. Yeah.
Marlene.
Yeah. Which again was the original person who played her in the game.
So who was the person that was with Joel in the game? What was her name? The one that died in the beginning of the show.
So Tess,
that's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she passed away as well in real life, right? So, yeah. So yeah, it was interesting to see that.
All right,
And
Viper, no worries. We'll see you on the replay.
yes, sir. So we forward now to present time, which what I was saying was exactly remember how playing the game.
Yeah,
They're on that road. There's a camper there, and I rented that camper,
dude.
and I took a bunch of stuff out of that camper.
Like there were so many scenes where it's just like, oh, I was there in the game, or like,
oh, I want to get into that.
Playing the game. You like when they get into a room, you're like, oh, I know what this happens in this room. Like the set deck and the people who built this show did such a fucking phenomenal job. I listened to a couple podcasts with the director and creators and a couple actors and stuff like that. And all of the extras and people who worked on this show were all fans of the game. And
that's
like
exactly what you want.
Fucking shows.
The one thing I never saw, and maybe you can remind me if I missed it or not, but I never saw Joel take scissors and bottles of.
No, he never built an IED. I'm kind of miffed about that. To be honest.
I would love to see him put it at least once on a table and go. You know
yeah,
what?
there was no weapon upgrade.
Only thing missing. There was a tiny thing, but it was the only thing missing.
That might have been a little too fan servicey.
No, but he could have said, "Oh, the gun's broken or something," and then down the next episode, he's fixing it. He's like, "I'm gonna do whatever I can to fix it." Right?
You know what? This is a good shout to the show that like we're asking for more fan service in a show that was exclusively just fan service. Like the whole fucking every episode was just like, here's a line, here's something that looks exactly like.
That's the beauty about the show. Every episode. Yeah, go ahead.
But it had such a different feel. The ending felt completely different than the game. It almost did it shot for shot. And we're going to talk about this in depth at the end. But
so what I really appreciated about the show was every episode had something related, or majority of the show related to the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very hard for me to even remember a time when we had that ever from a video game into a movie or a TV show.
No,
right? It was sometimes like 90% different.
Mm-hmm.
They changed they flipped the script on everything, and it's like, why would you do something like that when the show? We already know the game was successful because of the story. Just stick to that story, and just sprinkle in, which what they did. And the beauty part about the show was that the way they sprinkled things in just enhanced the show even more, which I never thought would be possible, right? I mean,
I'm still sniffling from the fucking episode. I finished it like I kind of wanted to save it till like right before.
Yeah,
and
I finished an hour before the we got on here.
Yeah, I finished it like maybe a half hour before. Yeah,
so he's trying to get her attention, just like in the game. She's wandering off into a different world, and they walk down, and he's like, I think it's close by. They go to this abandoned building, and he makes a joke. It's like, all the bombing, and they couldn't even bomb this building, which needed to be bombed. That was hilarious.
Yeah,
and I love
from the game.
No, it's not from the game. I just love that line.
Yeah.
What is from the game is these two next things, which I absolutely loved. So he goes to this area and he sees a rubble and blocking the stairway, and he goes, can't go that way. And I'm like, you took it right out of the game because I've done it so many times, right? And then
there's a ladder up there precariously balanced.
My favorite part right there.
Yeah.
And he sees the ladder there and he goes, Ellie, come over here. I'm gonna give you a little. And I'm like,
press X to boost.
No, triangle.
Triangle.
Triangle. I know, man. I know. And me and my son, because he's playing it too, my youngest son, and he's looking at me. I'm looking at him like, press triangle. He's like, yeah. I'm like, this is awesome. Oh man, I just love that. It was so good. I'm like, thank you. Thank you for respecting the game so much. Because we don't really get that from directors and writers, because most of the time they think that they can do a better job than what was already being given to them.
Well, it's movie directors not respecting game directors as artists. They go, well, I know what real art is because I make movies.
Yeah.
You just made video games. And this is like one of the best versions of them going like, no, you're a fucking artist. Come make art. And then being like, okay, let's make art.
Yeah.
And just because it's in like a person who draws with pencil doesn't scoff at a painter and go, oh, okay, well, I'm an actual artist because I use liquid and you just use a pencil. You write with pencil.
Yeah. Ew,
Like this
lead? Ew.
Yeah, you know that's bad for you. Oh, what graphite? Oh, okay. You're not even cool enough to use lead. That's I only use lead because it's kind of dangerous if I lick it. But like this was, no. You make art. You made
Yeah.
this art. Come make it again, but in a different idiom. Come,
Yep.
work with other painters, and you show us your method for working with like watercolor or I don't know, the fucking chalk. What's charcoal? There we go.
But yeah, I mean, it was such a. I loved that beginning. I was like, this is amazing. If the show's going to be like that, fantastic. So they climb up the top there, and she runs. She's like, "Look at this!" Which is exactly like the game. She just runs
And he's
off.
just like,
He's like, "Oh, hold on, Ellie. You know,
my
and
knees.
yeah, like, damn it, kid! You should not realize what I went through. I got stabbed, fool." And they get there, and opening.
And then you injected me in way too much penicillin.
I'm still pissing it out right now.
Piss is green right now, bitch.
It looks like radiator fluid.
Which they need for all the cars that are fucked.
Probably should have used it at the end, right, with the van heated up. So this giant opening there, and you see this luscious greenery around, and you see giraffe.
Yep.
Now, I don't know what a giraffe is doing there, but it's because maybe from a zoo.
From a
nearby.
zoo, yeah. Yep.
So I'm okay. I'm like, okay, zoo, because I was like,
also,
yeah,
I was thinking right when they saw it, I was just like, y'all motherfuckers been chasing deer. Like, there's some meat.
Yeah. But they fed it,
and
I
it's
guess
free range.
I think they wanted to get it more fat so they could shoot it later, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool, and that's all CGI, so that was really good.
That was the best CGI giraffe I've. Have you ever eaten giraffe?
No.
Can you eat giraffe? Is that the thing?
I don't know. I think they might be protected.
I've eaten kangaroo.
I don't know if kangaroo's protected. I think giraffe is.
Yeah, kangaroos can fight back. They'll fuck you up. Actually, well, no, giraffes do too. They're essentially what's the crane with a wrecking ball on it? They're essentially the animal version of that.
The old ball and chain wrecking ball.
Let's see. You can eat it in Africa. That doesn't surprise me. That's where they're from, predominantly.
I'm assuming they're illegal to transport the meat.
Do people eat giraffes? Giraffes used to not be widely eaten, although unfortunately they are now eaten by locals. Are they extinct? Oh, they're endangered. God damn it. Way to go, humans. To fuck up. It's another thing. Because I would imagine that giraffe, actually maybe not. Because giraffe is essentially just a big horse, and horse meat doesn't taste great.
I love how we segued into eating giraffe meat.
Well, yeah, because that's what was going through their minds.
Okay, so this part next is they go into the open area with a whole bunch of tents and stuff.
Yep. No. We get some more like, you got a scene of them having fun. Cool. You want to fucking cry again? All right. Let's have some hard talks of Joel talking about killing himself or trying to. And you're just
the
like,
scar, right?
God.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he's like, something came along to save me. I was like, oh, you big pansy, stop it.
No, this wasn't in the game to this degree. He vaguely mentions it, but the silent looks that they give each other and just the like, time heals all wounds. He's like, time didn't do shit. And just
So here's the part in the game.
Yeah.
They go down the tunnel area.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for this in the show, and they totally cut it out.
Sure.
I'm not happy with that.
Yeah.
Because I wanted the episode to have what the whole thing was about.
Mm-hmm.
Are these monsters, right?
That
and
is,
it,
yeah.
and it didn't have a single one of them.
We haven't had a zombie,
except for the prequel part in the beginning.
Sure, but I mean, like, apart from the hordes, which we saw 2, 3, we'll call it. No. The we saw the first one twice. Apart from the hordes, we've had under 10 zombies.
Yeah.
Or infected or whatever. Which is a big reason why whenever I'm talking about the show, I'm like, and they're like, oh, it's like The Walking Dead, but like it used to be a video game. I'm like, it's not. This is not a zombie show. There are borderline no zombies in it. And I do think that this episode should have had at least one that they are running from or fight for, because it would have solidified the danger in the world. And I guess the prequel kind of Ellie being born and having an infected could take that role.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a prequel, right? I mean,
yeah,
they should have had in the very last episode present day threat.
Sure.
Just to remind you, but to reaffirm how dangerous it still is,
sure,
no matter where they go.
Yeah.
And how far they go or closer to the Firefly team. There's still threat out there. So when they cut that whole scene out, I was like, this is a bit of a disappointment for me, because I kind of want to see that one last dangerous escape.
Sure.
Right?
But now, just me being devil's advocate, is the danger necessarily the infected in the... So again, you just finished the game. Would you say the infected are the thing that is causing all the problems, or are they just an obstacle and the people are the things that are the actual problem?
So there were two, for me, they were both dangerous elements in the game.
Sure.
The infected, I thought, posed danger to me if I'm not able to get around them and escape. Right.
But they're not actively hunting you.
No, but that scene in that game, they were actively... I had to run for my life in that scene.
But that's if you made a noise.
No, because there are scenes where if you go around into the corners and out, there's guys waiting to come at you.
Yeah.
And it says press run, right? It says press run.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the QTEs.
So, you got to run, and then you're at a dead end, and you can't escape unless you kill everybody, because it doesn't let you.
Yeah.
Right? So I needed that sort of not finishing, but sort of reminder of what they've gone through and what they're still going to go through no matter where they go in a city environment.
Mm-hmm.
Countryside, different story, right? Because they're not out there.
Yeah.
But the city environment, they should have been there somewhere at some point, right? And an underground would be the best place, because the Firefly don't give a shit about the underground.
Yeah.
They don't care. They can rot and live there, whatever. They're more concerned about up top, where they have their base of operations, right? So for me, that the fact that they negated that whole thing and got rid of it altogether, I was like, that kind of sucks, because you just kind of chopped one of the last big scare. Like for me, like I said, I don't play these games, so that was my last big, oh shit, I got to get through this. Because I know I'm at the end, but this goddamn thing, like I had to go through it like 4 times because I kept dying, right? I couldn't figure out the timing of getting everybody killed, because you're shooting these big boys over there, and then you have these little ones that are coming at you, and they drive you nuts, right? Yeah. And then if you don't keep an eye on the big boys, they're gonna come run, and when they run, they run.
Right? One of the things that I remember from the game that I love is the death scenes and how they just like cut to black. So they'll like overtake you, and then you'll just get grabbed, and then there'll be like a final like scream as you're getting bitten or torn apart, and then it'll be like and then cut to black, and there's no like slow like you died.
Yeah.
It's just like fuck.
Yeah, when the big boys
Dead.
get you, you can see your eyeballs popping because they squeeze your head, right?
Yeah, there's so many.
I was like,
gruesome
holy! Like
scenes.
when I first saw that, I'm like, whoa, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Like you can see Joel's eyeballs just like popping like a you
Yeah.
know Pillsbury Doughboy. Really?
Yeah.
But so yeah, I mean, I was kind of disappointed with that. But what happens in here is you have the Firefly throw a smoke grenade, I believe it is, or flash
Yeah.
grenade.
Flash, stun
Flash,
grenade or
yeah,
whatever.
or stun grenade, whatever it is, and it stuns both of them, Joel and Ellie, and you see him wake up at the hospital inside the Firefly compound, and that part in the game is there, obviously.
Yeah, most of the rest of this is
Yeah, they just basically took that underground scene out,
yeah,
and everything else is still there.
Yeah,
right. And basically he's like, where is she? And the narration is like, you know, Marlene's there. Marlene's like, I don't know how the hell you two made it all the way here because it took my whole team and we lost most of them to get here. So you're the last
and he's
person.
Like, it was all her. It was all her.
Yeah.
And she's like, bullshit.
And she's like, I don't want. You're the last person I want to thank or be grateful to. Which I was like,
you're the last person I want to owe.
Yeah, which is like, really, you asked him to do this.
Yeah.
So why?
She's just like, you're the last person I want to be indebted to.
Which I thought it was a kick in the pills. You don't say that to somebody who actually got the job done.
Yeah, but that was like, again, just a subtle hint at just like how much of a fucking big deal Joel is when it's just like he's spec ops. Just like if you need an entire town or somebody dead, you go, hey Joel, can you do this? And then he'll be like, okay. And then he'll come back and you'll be like, how was it? And he's like, it's done. And you're like, okay, that's all the question. That I'm not going to ask anything else. And he's just drenched in blood. And you're just like,
I'm wondering also.
Okay, there was a foster home there. Are they okay? I'm not going to ask. It's fine. Job's done. Okay.
I'm wondering what she said that also is maybe she's like, oh fuck, like you're the last person I wanted to owe because now I have to explain to you what's going to happen next to her.
Yeah.
And because what you've done already shows that you're ruthless and you can do anything. Like, I don't want to explain to you that I'm going to go cut up her head to get the cure because you might go run ape shit on us, which exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and also too, the prequel to this that happened in the beginning of the episode kind of gave more weight to Marlene talking about like her choice in all of this. And the biggest conflict here was that they took the choice away from Ellie. Now, had Marlene explained everything to Ellie and been like, hey, this will probably kill you. 99% will kill you, but it's the only way. Yeah. Ellie probably would have been like, all right, you know what?
It's for mankind.
That.
Yeah, that was my goal. That was my task.
And I'm sure if she explained that to Joel, he would have been like, okay, this is the way.
Oh, I see what you did there.
But Marlene was afraid of Ellie's decision or what she thought of it. And Joel was pissed that she didn't get a decision in it.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, having them both sit down in the room and go through the process of explaining this is what's going to have to happen in order for us to get the cure. You're going to have to die.
Yeah.
Because we had to get out of your brain to save mankind. And if she says yes, what's Joel going to do? Joel can't say nothing. It's her choice.
Yeah.
It was always about her choice to go here.
Yep.
Right. So I think in that Marlene fucked up by not going that route.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, in you know, this in those desperate times, that's not really an option. So I can kind of see why Marlene went that route, because it was just like, okay, well, this has to happen. Like, there's no other option, period. And but so then she goes to give him the knife, or gives one of the guards, and this is okay, give him his inventory, and take him out to the street, give him his shit, also give him this knife. If he tries anything, kill him. Yeah. And then they start walking out, and so here's where the game and the show changed drastically.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what you're gonna say.
The game, you're controlling Joel. And then he goes through and he just massacres everybody to go and save Ellie. In the game, you're doing this and you're going, oh no, this is terrible. Oh man. And then you kill everybody. And then, but in the show, you're just watching it happen. And the fact that there was, and again, going from the massacre in the hospital to him going up and shooting the doctors, and then going down to the elevator after he's rescued Ellie, and then his inner altercation with Marlene, they're all borderline shot for shot the exact same thing that happened in the game.
Yeah.
But it has such a different connotation because you're not controlling Joel. And the fact that they didn't try to do anything differently to accentuate that, just those two slightly different, you're either first person, even though it's a third person game, but it's first person meaning you're controlling it and you're doing it. Third person meaning you're watching it. And those two different viewpoints change my opinion on Joel so fucking much. In the game, his decision, I was all for it. In the show, I hate him. And I'm just like, Joel's a fucking piece of shit. He's a terrible person. But in the game, I'm like, fuck yeah, Joel's the coolest guy ever.
But how is that different, though?
Because I'm watching it as opposed to doing it. So it's just like, in your mind, you had a part in it. So you rationalize it. But when you're watching it, you're able to step back and have that.
It's funny you say that because I felt the same way.
Really?
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But in my experience, it's funny how I finished the game this morning and watched the show. That I don't know if a lot of people can do that.
Sure.
I happen to do it both the same day.
Yeah.
And that was just by pure luck, I guess, timing. But I felt how I felt with the game and how it ended and how I watched the ending of the show. I felt the same. I'm like, you do what you got to do, Joe. This is your girl now. This is your baby girl. You got to do what you got to do. You know, like it's amazing how we went from you're a cargo.
Yeah.
Remember that line? You're a cargo to baby girl.
Yeah. And it was the fact that it changed so drastically from one line in the last episode where he's just like, don't worry, I've got you, baby girl. And it's just like, oh, fuck. And then
it is
goes
absolute
to
beautiful
shooting
writing.
up a hospital. Yeah.
It's absolute magic and beautiful writing, right? This game to me now is more. It's crazy how I never even gave a thought to this game, and now played through it, it is catapulted in the top 10 of all time games for me.
Yep.
And I played a lot of games since I was a kid, and
that's why HBO has been trying for over a decade to give this show millions of dollars and give Neil Druckmann millions of dollars and just be like, please, can we make this? And then, like, from HBO's standpoint, they're just like, we don't have to do anything really. Like, we just gotta, not like it's gonna be easy. Like, and they did so much hard work to make this good. But as far as just like, we already have the screenplay, like that, the script and screenplay, that's already done.
The foundation is already laid out.
Exactly. The foundations, we just need to put a good goddamn house on this foundation because it's already rock solid.
Yep. Just paint it up.
They got the best painters and carpenters and insulators or whatever.
Heck, even the presenters were good. Pedro Pascal killed it.
Oh.
What's her name? Ramsey? Emily? Is it Emily Ramsey? What's her name?
Bella
Ramsey. There was a little bit of criticism from a lot of people on YouTube and on the social media places where they didn't like the casting of Ellie. I was one of those people when I saw, I'm like, her from Game of Thrones? Okay. I wasn't too fond of her because of the likeness. I don't know anything about the actor, and I'm sure she probably has a pedigree.
She's British.
great. So for me, like,
I mean, just the accent and the voice. 8 times out of 10, when there's a British actor and they're playing an American, there's a couple like subtle nuances where they'll say certain syllables or certain consonants. I'll be like, that's a British person. And I'll be able to hear how their tongue curls on an R or an S or a something. But like there wasn't a second that I picked that up from Bella playing Ellie.
Yeah, she I think silenced a lot of critics.
Yeah.
Like she shut up a lot of big people that were talking trash about her.
Yeah.
I just based on looks, I was like, I don't know if she's the one. But playing the game and then seeing her acting,
it's the same person pretty much.
She nailed it. She did a great job.
Absolutely Ellie.
She did a great job, and kudos to both of them. They need to be up for some Emmys.
Oh, absolutely.
Like something's got to give here where one of them's gonna win something.
Yeah.
So back to the ending here. You're like, it went exactly like it was supposed to. Marlene gets shot, right? And I played a little prank on my wife, by the way. So while the show is happening, and while he's going through the shooting brigade, and he's running to go save her, and I'm going to my wife, oh my God, I played the game this morning. I don't want to see this part. I don't want to see this part. And my wife's like, did she die? Don't you say that.
Yeah, Joel dies here.
My wife's like, what? She dies? No, don't say that. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to ruin it for you. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to see this part. Just kept doing it to her. Oh, I'm just getting so annoyed. But yeah, I mean, they find a van in the underground parking lot, and they're driving, which is exactly how the game was. Because I don't get to see what happens to her, because I'm like, when I got to that part of the elevator and she comes, she meets him there. I'm like, oh, do I need to go try to kill her? She's the main boss or something at the end, right? I'm like, do I do this again?
She's got robot arms that come out and miniguns and shit, and there's droids everywhere. And
well, no, you're running and hiding from her while she's shooting at you behind all these cars, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, is that what I'm gonna have to do now? But thank God they cut scene. I'm like, oh, thank God I don't have to do this, right? And they're driving off into the sunset. And they're going to Tommy's, correct?
Yep.
They go to Tommy's, and the ending. So she basically, when they get to Tommy's, I mean, they have to hike, obviously, which is exactly the game. They hike, but not for 5 hours.
Well, no, they're driving, and she wakes up in a hospital gown and goes, what happened? And he goes, oh, the drugs are wearing off. She's like, the drugs? Wait, what? And he goes, yeah, it turns out there's a lot of other people like you. They stopped looking for a cure. And then raiders attacked. And then she asks him, are people hurt? And then the camera just fucking looms on him as he just dies and just goes, yep, people are hurt. While he's just like, yes, I hurt a lot of people. Is Marlene okay?
Silence.
Nothing.
Right? Do you think you should have said to her, like, yeah, she's fine? Because then she'd probably be looking for her down the road, right?
Yeah.
But him being silenced, she's still gonna think that she's still alive.
No, she knows she's dead.
Oh, because he's a silence?
Yeah. Because he's always quick to reassure her. And he's only lied. He lies to everyone but her. Like, he lied to Tommy, saying Tess was fine. And so, like, lying and trying to reassure is always the first thing he does. But when she's like, is Marlene okay? And he just, there's nothing. And then she goes, well, what did she say after that? I think she's just like, changes the subject, and she's just like, okay, well,
I think she rolls over and passes out or something.
Oh yeah, that's so then she rolls over so that he can no longer see her in the mirror, which may be foreshadowing to season 2.
I don't know if I could play episode 2 or not. I don't know if I could do it. I went through a lot, man. It was very emotional. I don't know how happy I was, like giving fist pumps in the air when I finished the game this morning. I was like, "Oh my god, it's over! Like it's finally done. I don't have to deal with this again."
the second game is 2 to 3 times longer,
Oh god.
and the opening is the most controversial and gut-wrenching thing in entertainment history. And catapults the plot of the second game immediately and gives you a reason to fight. I will say that.
I already know what's gonna happen. Damn it. Okay. I'm not playing that game. Nope. Not playing that game. I got way too many games right now to play besides
it
that.
establishes a villain real quick.
Okay. Oh man.
And it gives you someone to fucking hate.
Tommy.
No. Yeah. Tommy comes in and he kills Jesus. No. Actually, I don't even know if Tommy's in the second one.
Okay.
Can't remember.
So yeah, the ending basically her asking Joel everything that he's saying is true or not, and it just ends abruptly, just like the game, right?
Yep.
They're at the top of the mountain looking down at Tommy's
Wyoming
establishment.
Yep.
And
she goes, "Swear to me that everything you told me about the Fireflies is true." And he tries to give he tries, and she sees that as he's like, "I swear, yeah, I swear, of course." And she's just like, "Fuck, okay,
I believe you." Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy. Absolutely madness.
Credits.
Madness, I tell you. Madness.
Just, fuck.
And that comes to an end of season 1. I don't know if they've set a date for season 2. I know they renewed it from what I heard, which is a no-brainer. But I don't know when it is. I think it's going to be at least 2 years from now.
Sure.
Minimum 2 years, because I don't see them going back anytime soon. Right? He's still doing the Mandalorian stuff. He's still doing promotions for that Mandalorian, but yeah, man. I mean, amazing.
Or did they? No, I can't. I can't say.
Yeah, let's just.
Or can I say? I mean, the second.
I don't think. I don't think you should. For my sake, don't.
Okay.
Yeah. But what an amazing journey that we went through. I had absolute blast playing the game and going through it on the TV show for the first time. Not many people get to do that.
Yeah.
But I was able to do that, and I think it just made me enjoy it so much more, both the game and the show, that I was able to go together with it. Yeah, just chef's kiss to the show, the director, everybody that was involved in doing this show. Congratulations to you guys. You did a fantastic job. The show, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. But it might be perfect for the fans, which I think is all really matters, is if the fans who supported the game are happy and satisfied, like yourself and me, then I think that's all you can ask for. If the base core fans are happy, then that's it.
I think this also is a companion to the game, because
how many people just went and bought the game now?
Sure.
How many random walking by people who never heard of this saw the show, and then somebody said to them, probably, "You know, that's a game, right?" And they're like, "What?" And they went and bought it.
Yeah.
Sales probably went up, because sales went up when I heard it, show's coming out.
Probably, and they've got fucking 35,000 different variations of the game. So if you own
I hope you got the PS5 version.
If you own any Sony platform for the past 20 fucking years, you can play this game.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, a lot of video game or one medium to another versions of a story are usually separate, and they go, oh well, this is different because this happened in the game, and that's the canon for the game. And I mean, Star Wars is a good example of just like, oh well, you know, you can play Dark Forces, but actually, Rogue One is how the Death Star plans got stolen. But at Dark Forces, you play as Kyle Katarn, and that he doesn't exist. And but because that happened in the video game, so that doesn't mean anything to the movie. But this, it tells the exact same fucking story, but the show is just like, here's more story about this. Here's more information about this.
Yeah.
None of this we touched on because it doesn't move a TV plot forward. And also, too, there were so many decisions because video game writing and TV writing are so different. And there are certain choices that you make in writing for video games that move gameplay forward or make things more fun or more engaging or more entertaining. But in TV, they make things boring, awkward, and fucking stupid. And there were so many well thought out decisions to be like, we're not going to put that in the show because it doesn't move the story forward. We're not going to do this because it doesn't make sense. And we're not going to touch on these things because we don't need to. And it doesn't do anything for the plot. And in the beginning, a lot of people were like, oh, well, they changed this. Why did you change this? Because the internet and everyone likes to get fucking angry. And then you watched more of it and you're like, oh, I didn't do anything for the plot and would have just like bloated it and made it stupid. And then like every point of, apart from, I think they should have had, but again, we're grasping at straws here. Any bad thing we've had to say about the show is just because it's like, all right, we need to stop fucking sucking this dick. Like, like, is there something bad or critical we can say about it? And we're just like, I guess maybe put a couple more zombies in the.
Well, I mean, anytime there's something that I wanted to nitpick, and I have, right?
Yeah.
This episode, I could have easily just mailed it in and said, hey, it's great, awesome, sign off, thank you, bye-bye, have a good day.
Yeah.
But I had issues with it. Like I told you, like I didn't like the fact that they totally got rid of the underground scene. To me, that was I was waiting for that scene. I'm like, this is how you close in the book. And the fact it took it out took a hit on my overall score for this episode.
Speaking of which,
yes, what would you give? We'll do the overall show score after, but
yeah.
What is the overall score you give for this episode?
9.5.
Whoa, I almost spit out my drink. Okay. 9.5. All right.
Yep.
Why 9.5?
Again, from the having the original actor who played Ellie start the episode off being the mother of Bella, of the new Ellie, I thought was a beautiful, poetic send-off, her literally passing the torch. And again, referencing fucking a comic book that barely anyone read, probably. And just having like, okay, taking like those little bits, I thought that was a beautiful send-off and beautiful passing of the torch. Adding a little bit of intrigue, even with the inception of how the pandemic started and how this infection started, of just like, oh, it came from bread, maybe. Even all of that wasn't necessarily just like Metachlorian explained, just like here's how this shit works. Yeah. It's just like, I don't know, maybe it's like this. Here's some, I don't know. And it lets it allows, it respects the audience's intelligence, being like, here's all the things we know. I don't know. Because nobody in that world or universe knows, or else it'd be fixed.
Yeah.
So we are on the same level as everyone who is in the show, which is you feel way more connected to the story in that way. And I would have given it a 10 had there been I'd forgotten about the sewer scene or the tunnel scene, but I did think there should have been some
one last danger moment.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay, 9.5.
but
Okay.
other than that, I thought it was and two, the fact that I have a different feeling about the entire situation and Joel's choice from the game
Yeah.
than I do in the show. But also
Uh,
too, it was the conversation like during the shootout. I was just like, oh fuck, and it was heavy. It was when they were doing the hike, and Joel talked about his daughter way more now, and which is him opening up to Ellie, and being more less closed off to her. I mean, he fucking had a conversation about how he tried to kill himself, and how like she's now subtly hinted at her that now, and he did this before in a few episodes prior, where he's like, there's always something that you find to fight for, and him implying that that's her now, and then later in the episode or at the end, just talking about his daughter and be like, I think you guys would be, you'd like each other, and but it was again him being, and I think I said this in the first episode, he's garbage at fucking talking to people. He's a shitty dad. Like he has no fucking idea how to talk to a teenage girl, because he's just like, oh, I don't know, do you like pancakes? Fuck, I don't know, I gotta go build a house. Do you read books? Okay, good, bye. He's no idea how to fucking talk to a teenage girl, and we see that too in when they're going for the hike, where he's just like, yeah, she had a great smile. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that you don't have a great smile. Fuck, I don't know. Can you read me some more jokes? You're funny. I'm sorry. But he's just trying so hard because the guilt is just, he knows what he fucking did. He knows all the people he just killed. He knows that it was like, I may have just doomed all of humanity for my selfish reasons. But also I'm thinking of you and your need, and now you're alive, so I did that, and that's how he's justifying it. But it's that very, very rudimentary, like, he's only thinking 2 steps ahead, and he's not thinking of the bigger picture. And he's like, I saved you, I'm alive, I'm a good person. There we go. That's my reasoning. But he's trying so hard to be like, you seem sad. Somebody I used to know would like you. Fuck. And like, that's all he's got.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I really thought the scene needed to be in this episode. I was sort of gut punched when it wasn't in there.
Sure.
Also, the ending when he's busting through with all these guards. I thought some of the scenes, the camera angles were pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Because he's in a hallway and there's 3 guys shooting at him. It's a very narrow hallway. What are the odds you're not getting clipped? I mean, what are they, stormtroopers on there on the other end of the hallway? Like, they got to be able to hit him somewhere. Like, I would have loved to see him on more ducking and shooting, right? Not just barreling down a hallway, because in the game you did a lot of that. Speaking of that, I didn't see in this scene or this episode where he doesn't grab somebody by the neck and the back and stab him with the knife, which is, it's iconic in the game.
Yeah.
You need to do that almost every single level.
Yeah.
Right. At some point, whether it be one of the clickers or one of the, the monsters, he had to do it to somebody in every chapter of the game.
Yeah.
So we didn't get that at the end. I know I'm nitpicking, but that's my job, right? If we're going to give this show a great resounding success, which I think both of us will at the end here, I still got to look at all the things that could have been made it even better, right? And so that's why I'm going to give it an 8.5. But I mean, I'm making 8.5 sound like it's like 4. It's not bad. It's 8.5.
No, it's still one of the best things you could.
I mean, this one episode was better than the entire season of Willow almost, right? So
almost.
Okay, well, there were some scenes, the bad guys. Remember we talked about this. They were cool fight scenes with the bad guys.
Who?
Never mind. I don't even know why I'm bringing that show up again. Jeez. But 8.5 for me.
Willow owes us money. I'm just gonna say it right now. Willow owes us money.
You know who owes money? Cowabunga Dude owes us money.
No one talks about that fucking show more than we do. I guarantee you.
And which is gonna take me to my
George
segue.
Lucas owes us residuals for this shit.
Cowabunga Dude owes us gifts. He owes his
the people who made that show didn't fucking talk about it 2 days after they finished rapping.
2 minutes after, probably. Same day. They just wheeled into an Uber and got the hell out of there.
Yeah.
They just left their equipment too. They're like, fuck it.
Warwick Davis owes me. His next child needs to be named after us.
I don't want his child in lineage to be associated with us.
Speaking of which, I rewatched. Okay, no. Speaking of Warwick Davis, and actually Willow and a bunch of the cast. But you gave it an 8.5. Okay.
8.5. I think that's the lowest I've given it, or maybe an 8. That's saying something about a show.
Yeah.
I think the lowest is 8 I've given it this show. At some point, I think I gave it an 8 or 8.5. But that tells you a lot of what we think of this show.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think any show you give it an 8 across the board is a great success. But the fact this show didn't get anything lower than an 8,
yeah,
like,
and
it's incredible.
We rarely agree on things.
Well, I mean, we do, but one of the things that we do is we see each other's points and respect that.
Oh, absolutely,
right. And then
there's never a time that I'm just like, oh, this fucking guy is telling me.
Yeah, that was Andor, where you almost lost your shit and walked away, which is fine.
Excuse me.
No,
I almost walked away.
Like in disgust of my opinion of it.
No. You had a meltdown, and I sat back and laughed.
Oh, well, you put your headphone down and walked away to get a drink, I think.
Yeah, but I do that all the time.
And you know, everybody else out there in the world loves it, and I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Screw you guys. I'm still right. But this show is so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
If you're into
it's
this
not
kind of
fun.
stuff.
It's
you know what I mean? Like, it's enjoyable and emotional impact.
It is an impactful show to watch. It is
honestly, I didn't cry as much as you did. I think I only teared out.
You never cry because you have problems.
I have an ear duct that waters even walking outside in the cold. There's one ear duct here I have.
Eye duct?
Profusely.
Tear duct.
Yeah, it's a tear duct right here.
You said ear duct.
Tear. I didn't say eye duct.
You said ear duct.
No, I said tear.
I did. Okay.
Yeah, tear duct.
I need a replay of that. Was there a T in there, or did he say ear duct?
It's a tear.
Was it just like?
It's my British accent.
Right.
The tongue rolls to the side.
Yeah. It's an ear duct.
Yeah, ear duct. But yeah, right. If I walk in the cold, this one eye would just profusely drop of like tears. Just the one side.
Just the one.
So when I'm walking to my work, because I have to walk a block into my office outside from the parking lot. In the winter, I'm just like walking and I get in there and it's just like I'm like gushing of water on one side.
Yeah. And they're like, Alvin in the UK, and you're like, no, I think I have to go home. And they're like, you should. And you're like, oh, thanks.
You're crying. Why is your eye so red? I'm like,
are you okay?
Just leave me alone. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I just need heat to hit my face. I'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, you know, I just think it's a really good show. Before we give our final score of the entire series of the show, quick reminder, everybody, you can follow us at all of our platforms, Twitter, Instagram, while Justin gets his drink, because that's what the time it is. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You can get us at at ANR Universe. You can find us all those places. Ask us questions. Let us know what show we should review next. That's a big show that's coming out. Speaking of big show that's coming out, Mandalorian, it's already out. And on Wednesday nights at 9:45 p.m. Pacific time on Popcorn Chicken segment here, we do a breakdown of the Mandalorian episodes every week. So join us this Wednesday coming up to break down episode 3. along with the Bad Batch as well, and some extra Star Wars talk afterwards. On Monday nights, which is tomorrow, if you're watching this on a Sunday, we have our 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, the A&R Weekly, where we catch up on all things in the pop culture world, whether it be collectibles, movie or TV show news. We pick a few topics and we get into it, and it's a lot of fun. We have some other stuff like joke of the day, things like that. Come join us live on 8:30 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube, or that show can be caught on Spotify, Amazon Music, or iTunes. It is our
tunes.
What?
Nothing. I was just trying to help.
And iTunes, yes, you can catch us on your famous podcast platforms. 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, the A&R Weekly, and then bi-weekly we have our Saturday morning show, which is 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. It is called The Mighty Mornings. It's a look back on the 80s, 90s, and early 2000 TV shows and animation. We pick one of those shows and we kind of talk about the history of it and a little bit of information on it. And me and Christopher, who's our member of the A&R team, we kind of break it down and have some fun with it. We got the show coming up this Saturday, is our bi-weekly, so we're going to be talking about a specific show. I can't tell you what it is. It's a surprise. You got to join us, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's give a final take here on this, and let's talk about the overall score of this show.
Yeah.
And where does it fall in the hierarchy of all your shows? Does it make the top 5, top 10? And how long do you think it'll take before season 2 shows up?
Okay.
I'm saying 2 years for season 2.
There's so much I don't want to say. Well, one thing too, about this whole reviewing the show, the funnest thing was the fact that you were playing through it at the same time. And I had to be so
I know.
careful.
I know.
Because you would just say, oh, I'm at this part. And like when you say this part, like that just, there's an hour or two of, oh, I'm at the school. I'm at the academy. I'm at the museum. It's like there's like 2 hours of shit that happens in there, and you're like, oh, I'm at this part, and I had to be so careful with my words, and I couldn't just be like, oh, is this person dead yet? Oh, did you kill this person? Oh, did this happen? I would just be like, oh, okay, what's happened? And he'd be like, oh, this happened, and I would just be like, oh, he hasn't gotten through that part yet.
Yeah, one of them was, you kept telling me
Have
about the refrigerator.
The refrigerator. So, okay. I'm giving this show a 5 out of 10 because there was no refrigerator scene and he never made a pipe bomb. This bullshit. I hate this show. No. But it was very cool seeing. Now, I'm a person who, whenever somebody says, oh, I haven't seen that, and it's like, you know, a good friend of yours, and they go, I haven't seen Fight Club. And I'm never the person to be like, you're a fucking idiot. You've never watched Fight Club? Blah. I'm just like, oh, I get excited because then I get to see somebody experience that for the first time. Yeah. And that's a point of just like, there's so many people who, like, if they get a wish, they go, I wish I could forget this thing and experience it again for the first time. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, that's just human nature. If you just like, I want to, it's, you know, chasing the dragon is the like cliched comparison. Chasing the dragon obviously is a heroin reference, but you want
we don't condone any of that at all.
No, don't do heroin. It's fucked. But you want to experience the thing that made you feel a certain way again, because at that time, and that's the whole point with nostalgia, is you want to experience the thing that changed your life or had an impact on your life again, and that's hard to do. And so it's cool to see somebody else doing that, because then you're like, oh, I remember when I did that, and yeah, right. And it's that you get that sense of community and that camaraderie and that relativeness where you get to, by proxy, experience something like that again for the first time. And a big reason why I think this show was so fucking astounding is because it allowed me, as somebody who has played through the first one multiple times, to experience that again, because it was very familiar. And that's why I said this show is an amazing companion to the game, because it allows you to experience those things again and have it still have an effect on you, as if not more so than the game. Because when you play a game, again, you're controlling it. You're kind of desensitized to a lot of things. If you run through and shoot a motherfucker, you don't care.
Yeah,
but
because
in
you're
the
just trying to
show,
get to the end of the show. Yeah,
when Joel shoots somebody, you're just like, fuck. And also, too, like subtle writing changes of like in the game or in the show, Joel gets stabbed and then Ellie has to take care of him. In the game, you fall off a building and then you fall in a piece of rebar. But because in the game, if Joel gets stabbed, you don't give a shit, because you just ran through a troop of guys and got shot 15 times and then just wrapped some duct tape around your arm and you're like, good to go, put me in, coach. But in the game,
elements are totally different.
Absolutely. So there's no, if you got stabbed in a cutscene, you'd be like, I just fucking got shot 13 times and I'm fine. What the fuck? But because it was, he fell from 2 stories and he fell in some rebar and now it's in a cutscene. But in the show, you get stabbed, you're just like, he's fucking dead. And there was a bunch of times, even though I know what happens, it still had the panic of just like, he's gonna die. Like, how does he make it out of this one? Even though I know how it happens. But it was the fact that this show allowed me to experience this story and have this experience again and still impact me as heavily, if not more, was one of the most amazing. I did not think that this was possible, to be honest. Like, having something borderline be shot for shot, but then having subtle changes here and there and just being like, this is enough to make you feel these same feelings again, was fucking amazing.
All right, what did you give it overall out of 10?
I want to give it a 10. I think I would give it a 10. Just like the experience of it and what it did as a piece of art, I thought was absolutely...
Okay, so now the next question is, because you give it a 10 out of 10, is it in your top 5 of all time TV shows?
It is. Yeah.
Because if it wasn't, then like that would tell me like, it wasn't, it's in the top 5.
I would say it's probably like,
is it can I say, is it a top 3?
It's top 3, absolutely.
Can I ask
the fact that it did this in one season, in 9 fucking episodes? Like, okay. I always put Breaking Bad on a huge pedestal.
Of course, yes.
How many
as you should.
How many seasons was that?
6, I want to say. 5 or
6 seasons. And that show was only one of my favorite shows because it ended. And it knew how to end it, and it did that perfectly, I think. And it wasn't a fan servicey ending, and it was just like, here's the end. Walter dies, and you're just like, oh, everything catches up to him. And that was an amazing ride of a TV show. But like, again, the fact that it did this in one season and also was a perfect companion to the game. There sure, a couple episodes it was like, oh, I wish they had done this, or maybe this was a thing or whatever. But it didn't detract from the overall experience and the emotional impact that 9 episodes of a video game adaptation had.
Mhm.
And it was one of the most like fuck. Again, it's gonna take me a while to rewatch this show. Like
Fair enough. No,
I
I totally
want
get it.
to, but like
I totally get it. Fair enough. I'm gonna give this show a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
That does not mean any. I'm not.
No.
The 9 is to me a great score. Like it does not take anything away from this. Like this, like everybody I talk to who are asking me what's a good show to watch, because a lot of people come to me like, hey, you watch a lot of shows, and what do you recommend right now? And I swear to God, the last 6 or 7 weeks, all I said was, just go watch The Last of Us. Go watch that, and when you're done with that, then ask me the next show. But go watch that. So it's in my top 10. Where's my top 10? I'll have to sit down and figure that out.
We should do another popcorn chicken of just kind of re-going over,
reminiscing about our top. Maybe we make a list.
Yeah,
you make a list. I make a list.
I had actually, I think it was the episode that you weren't here for, popcorn chicken.
Of course,
I think it was a bad batch, but Nathan and I talked about a couple of our favorite TV shows, and
speaking of Nathan,
a lot of fun. Yeah, where the fuck is that motherfucker?
He has this thing called work you have to do.
What a loser!
And Wednesday he's gonna join us probably tail end of the show because he's still working there.
Oh,
like 11 or something. I don't know.
Your Highness.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God, Almighty. But yeah, 9 out of 10. Probably creeps up in my top 10 of all time. I'll have to make a list. No, not in my top 5.
Really?
I know already of 3 shows, and I could sure as hell find 2 more that could be probably. But I'm not saying it's not that far off.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be number 6 when I'm all said and done here.
Sure.
Right? You could just get there, right? But 1 season in, man, that's crazy.
1 season, like that.
1 season.
That's a big thing. Like of why, because there are other shows that I'm like, and as you say, like people ask, like, oh, what should I watch or whatever. This is probably my number 1 show I will recommend because it's the barrier for entry is borderline non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
With the fact that like we've been like training on how to binge shows since the pandemic. So if you tell somebody, oh, it's 9 episodes, 1 season, and they're like, oh, that's it, okay,
yeah.
And be like, all right, you get your tissues ready and have a therapist on the fucking phone, or like speed dial. But like, there's some shows that it's just like, it's one of the best shows ever. It picks up around season 4. Like that's such a normal statement.
Yeah.
Or get through season 3.
Or that's exactly what I say to a lot of shows. The first season, let it marinate.
Yeah.
The second season is gonna start ramping, but season 3, get ready, baby, because it goes uphill from here.
And right? Honestly, Breaking Bad has a couple seasons like that too.
Yeah, but I thought season 3 had a little bit of a dud, right?
And that's why I always bring that up when we're talking about The Mandalorian, and people are like, the first episode didn't wow me. I was like, no third season of any show fucking blows your mind. They already are just like, you're here. Let's just have some fun.
Yeah.
But
that I just think it's a phenomenal show. HBO, shout out to HBO, shout out to directors, writers, actors, lighting, camera people, the guys who made the craft sandwiches, all of that. Like everybody on board with this crew. Kudos to you guys. Clap for me for you guys. Phenomenal job. Celebrate great shows. There's people out there egging on this show. I don't know why. I don't care. Celebrate great shows. It might not be for everybody, but I just think that the work they put in deserves a little bit of a clap.
It shows.
Yeah,
it shows. Absolutely.
It deserves a little clap. If you're looking for something cool to watch, popcorn chicken.
Feel some feelings.
Popcorn chicken is the place to be.
Yeah. We'll tell you the good, bad, and the
ugly.
Willow.
Oh, there you go. The good, bad, and the willow. That is what we're gonna say from now on.
We're making a t-shirt of that.
The good, bad, and the cross out ugly, put willow underneath.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That's our t-shirt. Nobody take that.
Yeah. We said it on the internet. That's copyright.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll sue you.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us today on Popcorn Chicken.
Wait, we're still
Uh,
going to talk more.
What are we gonna talk about?
Do you have to go?
Well, now you put me on a spot.
No, do you have to go? Because I got some shit to talk about still.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna be out
Do you-
for just gonna drink. I'll get a drink.
Okay.
Well, you better talk about some
I'll
stuff that we're
vamp.
talking about. Talk about Wednesday. What are we gonna talk about Wednesday? I did a little bit about it, but you should dive
Okay,
into
go get
more.
a drink. Go get a drink.
Yeah, and I'll be right back.
Okay. I don't know why he silenced his camera but didn't put it away. Hi, internet. It's just you and me now. Now we're just on the Justin podcast. But we're going to talk about Mandalorian on Wednesday. So if you like Star Wars stuff and you like people yelling at each other, you should tune in Wednesday at 9:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We do that because it's Wednesday and most of us have things to do. So we give everyone plenty of time to watch it. It comes out on Tuesday at 12 midnight Pacific time. But we're going to talking about The Bad Batch and The Mandalorian, episode 3, which so far The Mandalorian it's been fun. It's the second episode ramped up, just went into fifth gear or sixth gear or whatever. I haven't had a standard drive shaft car for a while, so I don't remember how many gears there are. But we're going to talk about The Mandalorian, and Nathan will be there. Maybe Chris will be there, one of the newest members of A&R. And yeah. How are you, internet? I'm wonderful. Dio, how are you? You haven't made an appearance yet. Here's Dio, the mascot. Excuse me, I did not ask for kisses. Are you tired? Do you want to see The Mandalorian? Really? I couldn't tell. Tell me you want to see The Mandalorian without telling me you want to watch The Mandalorian. He's grumpy and tired. But yeah, 9:45 Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be talking about The Mandalorian and answering questions and starting debates with people that are in the chat. And if you are new to the channel, you should hit this. I have only had like 2 drinks. It's mainly just the emotional terror that The Last of Us was on me. So my brain's all scattered. But if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We give away prizes every single month. And all you have to do is subscribe, which costs you nothing. You just hit the little red button that's like right there. Yeah, right there. Hit that. And then leave a comment on any of our videos, even this one. You could just be like, you guys are wrong. This show sucks. I hate my life. And I will tell you that it's probably just the show making you feel things that you haven't felt in a long time. And that's okay. But you should go to a therapist. Nothing wrong about going to therapy. It's like a car engine. Even when it's working, you should go get a mechanic to look at it, because it's you're not broken. You're just not done yet.
What's not broken?
I got into a philosophical conversation with myself about therapy while talking about The Last of Us. Like your mind and your mental health, it's like a car. Even when it's working well, you should get it checked out. When your car's working great, you still bring it to a mechanic to get it checked up. And I said, you're not broken. You're just not done yet.
But so you said you had some stuff to talk about.
I do. I haven't watched John Wick yet, and I'm sorry, but I will. My dad gave me shit about that. He watched the podcast and he was like, "You haven't seen John Wick? I failed as a father." And I was like, "Fuck."
That was good.
I was like, "I know I haven't seen it.
Shout out to him.
Yeah. But I rewatched Solo.
Okay.
And the first half of that movie is bullshit.
Okay.
The first half of that movie is bad. The second half of that movie is fucking awesome.
All right.
So there's so many retcons and like cop outs that are annoying and horrible writing. Second half of that movie, like the first half is him enlisting in the Imperial Army, and then him being like, "Oh, I don't have a family," and him being like, "Solo," and him just giving him that name. That's bullshit. Han Solo has a family. He even talks about his fucking dad in the movie. And his last name was Solo. And then the fact that Woody Harrelson hands him the DL-44, his quintessential pistol. There's so many things that are just like, oh, he used it. This
Yeah, that's
got
because
it.
let's chalk it up to people who don't know what they're doing, right?
Yeah, absolutely,
lazy writing.
totally. And that was bullshit. The latter half of that movie is Childish Gambino playing Lando Calrissian, which was fucking awesome. Darth Maul showing up, and also having what's his name? The original guy who played Darth Maul playing him, but then having the voice actor from Clone Wars and Rebels voice him was awesome. But, and this is why I'm bringing this up, because when we were talking about Willow, we kept talking about what's her name? And I'm not committing any of this memory. So Jade, the actor who played Jade in Willow, she plays the essential, not main bad guy, but she plays like the person in she plays Infus Nest, who was Woody Harrelson's like, oh no, Infus Nest is here and they're gonna fuck up our heist or whatever. Do you know who else was in Infus Nest's crew and shows up at the end of the movie? Take a wild guess. No. It's a little person.
Oh, the Willow.
Yeah, Willow's in his crew.
What?
That was the biggest thing. I was just like, oh, this is a fun movie. And
that's crazy.
I made some dinner and I was just like, is that what's his name? I just said his name earlier.
Just say Willow.
Willow.
Yeah.
Warwick Davis. Warwick Davis was like in so many scenes with Jade. And I was like, that's fucking Willow. That's how they cast this movie. Jade got the job for Willow because they were in scenes together and they hung out. And I was like, whoever directed this movie, which was who
was there a mix of directors? I thought it was more than one.
In Willow there were, yes. But it was Ron Howard that did Solo. I hate Ron Howard.
Really?
I don't think he's done great.
What about the movie with Tom Hanks? Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, Da Vinci
Code. I like the first one. I just didn't care for the other ones.
I didn't give a shit about the first one.
Really? Okay.
I saw it in theaters and I was like, it was fun.
Okay, fair enough.
But I think most things that I've seen him direct, there's something that fucking pisses me off.
Like what would that be?
Well, just like Solo, the first half. But like, I'm just trying to think. Like everything, he's never a selling feature. If it's just like, oh, Ron Howard directed it.
Well, he did the Grinch in 2000.
Okay. He did the Grinch
in 2000.
Like the Jim Carrey one?
Yep.
Okay. All right. That's his best selling feature. But anyway, yeah, that was just a fun thing that I noticed that Warwick Davis was, and
Well,
this is not
he was on the TV. He did the TV show Arrested Development.
Ron Howard did that.
Yep.
Okay, never mind. I take everything back.
The one that I like, the one
Ron
I
Howard's
like,
a phenomenal filmmaker. Arrested Development's one of the best TV shows I've ever seen.
the two movies that I liked of his, besides
Mhm.
the Da Vinci Code, was Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks. That was a great one.
Sure.
And the other one,
Ron
I
Howard or Tom Hanks, because we're just listing off Tom Hanks things.
No, Ron Howard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he did Apollo 13. I love that movie.
I forgot about that.
And then the other one I like, because I love racing, is Rush with Chris Hemsworth.
Okay, Rush was good.
Yeah, so I like those ones. One
but he also did Curious George, A Very Monkey Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, there's highs and lows in Hollywood, right? He did Cinderella Man, Splash, which is a lot of Tom Hanks.
Wait. Cinderella Man
with Russell Crowe.
No, Arrested Development. He was a producer on.
Oh, okay.
So that all that means is he paid them the money they needed.
Okay, so he was, Splash, the old, mermaid one, right? Remember Splash?
Yeah. And Willow, he was a producer on as well.
He was a director for Splash. So, yeah, I mean, he's got a history of not amazing, but he's got a history.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of things he's done.
He's an important person. Absolutely.
The one that I was disappointed.
Oh, Beautiful Mind.
Yeah. The one that he was a producer for. The one that bombed, The Dark Tower.
Oh, yeah. I was really interested in that.
Yeah, the director was Nicolas Arcel, but I think Ron Howard was the producer for it.
Did it bomb because it was bad?
It was bomb. It bombed.
Did you see it?
I read the book a long time ago, but I forget about half of it. I think I was a kid when I read the book.
Yeah, same.
And from what I heard, like, I didn't get to go back and read it again. I just didn't have time, but people just felt they said it was not authentic to the book.
Most Stephen King adaptations don't translate well
and the budget was really low.
Yeah.
So
I read it too, probably too young, because I don't remember any of it, but I know I read it. And it was like in my like early teens, probably, when I was like, oh, I like reading books. I'm gonna read cool adult books. And like I read a couple Stephen.
It's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, these are edgy. Oh, these are cool. They probably say "fuck" in them and talk about titties or like whatever. And like I just read it, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I just like couldn't comprehend.
Sure, it's another dimension. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I like dimensions.
Yeah, dimensions cool. I read the boxes. There were some like weird scorpions and time travel.
Yeah.
Which who's that? William Slater. It was an author who wrote. I hate
not to confuse with Christian Slater.
No,
which we William loved in our
Slater. Show. Yeah, the only good part of Willow, is fucking Christian Slater showing up randomly and then dying.
That he said the only good part. Willow.
That'll come back to bite me in the ass.
Yeah, it will, definitely. 139 mark, it will.
Yeah, William Slater. I hate the term young adult books, because I feel like that term diminutizes novels. But as we just proved, there's a reason they exist, and it's because when you go from coloring books and Dr. Seuss to Stephen King, you can't comprehend the concepts in writing form. So you have to have an interim of just like, here's weird shit, but it's dumbed down. Not dumbed down. It's written simplified for a developing brain. There we go. But there was and I'm surprised actually that it hasn't been turned into a movie, because there was multiple books. There was The Boxes, and then the sequel, which I think actually was a prequel, was called Marcos Million. And William Slater, and I would check these books out from the library, the local library in Cranbrook.
You know, libraries have come a long ways now.
Have they?
You can check out audiobooks at your home.
I used to rent Sound of Music from the library in Cranbrook with my family, and we would watch the shit out of that. It came with 2 VHS cassettes.
Wow.
It was a double.
That is an Owen Wilson. Wow.
Yeah.
But libraries come a long way. Now you can actually go online and just type in your favorite library, and you can be a member there for free, and you can actually rent out audiobooks and digital books.
Having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. Shout out to the original spinster, Arthur.
And now you know.
But yeah, the
should we get the shooting star across?
The more you know. So the boxes, it was this really fucking cool book of this kid and his sister, I think, who they found this box, and there were these weird, like, metallic scorpion type things, these creatures, and they had this orb, or like this what's the, in like the first Avengers movie,
Tesseract.
The Tesseract, thank you.
You just have to say Avengers, and I'm like, bingo.
Yeah. My second clue was going to be like, there's this like
blue
math core band that's also called Spencer Sotelo sings for them. No, that's anyway.
I would have never got that answer then.
Yeah. But and they find this little thing, this box thing, and it can stop time. So there's like all this like stopping time and like having their entire neighborhood completely frozen and them doing shit, and I don't remember what happens, but they found it anyway. It was a awesome book. I should reread it again, but I'm surprised that it hasn't had a movie adaptation.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Unfortunately, I do have to end it now, the show.
That's fine.
I have to get up early. Life, as we know.
I just want to talk about Solo.
No, and, it was cool.
My dad was disappointed in me for not watching John Wick.
My dad's even disappointed at you now.
I'll watch him. When was the new one come out?
In 2 weeks.
Okay, that gives me the time.
Yeah.
So. And I can pull you with Last of Us, and I will watch all of them and then watch the new one.
I'll miss the new one because I'm not in town. But when I get back, I am running to the theater to watch it because I love Keanu Reeves and I love that movie. And I just got my Super Mario movie tickets.
Oh, good.
I can't wait to watch that because that's one.
Actually,
yeah, Super Mario the movie.
I know the movie.
Yeah, I want to watch. Like, why would you? I grew up with Super Mario. I have to watch.
So did I.
I've got to watch it. It's gonna be amazing.
I'm
probably not because I heard some wokeness to it, but hey, I gotta watch it before I say anything. But
I'm excited about Jack Black's performance as Bowser.
I need to go to Walmart, or sorry, I need to go to Toys R Us and buy the figure of him, Bowser, because if you put water in the back of it, he actually blows out smoke.
Wait, Bowser vapes?
Yeah, he vapes. And it looks cool because D bought it and he showed it to me and it looks amazing.
That's cool, actually.
I need to go get it. So, yeah. And then, by the way, the movie comes out on Easter long weekend and it's available on Wednesdays. When's the last time you got tickets on Wednesdays to watch a premiere? Usually it's Thursdays.
Yeah, Thursdays, yeah.
But it was available for Wednesday, but I couldn't go on Wednesday because none of my family, their school and work, things that adults do. Adult weird things. But anyways, they weren't available to go, so I had to go on Thursday night. So, yeah, I know. These people.
You're so hard done by.
Yeah. But Thursday night, I'm going to go watch it. Hopefully, it'll be good. The show was good. The show was good. We entertained you, hopefully. This is the end of Popcorn Chicken segment for The Last of Us until the next season, whenever it does come around.
Yep.
So if we have another popular show that comes out on a Sunday or something, we'll do one. But for now, we have Mondays, Wednesdays, and every other 2 weeks, Saturdays to entertain you. If you guys can think of a good movie or a TV show that's coming soon, and you would love to have us break it down for us, let us know in our social media handle at ANR Universe, and we will look into it and see if we want to do a breakdown of it. So April, May, whatever show that's coming out in the next couple of months, let us know. We're already doing The Mandolin, which is the hottest show right now on Disney Plus. So join us on Wednesday nights for that. Say bye, Justin.
Bye, Justin.
Bye, everybody.